Monet was the father of Impressionism, the master at colour. He was this acute observer of nature. His greatest subject was capturing light. He transposed the fleeting, ephemeral, exciting modern world onto canvas. It was the mid-19th century. Modernity was happening, and the world was absolutely in transit. I mean, in Paris, the streets becoming these sprawling boulevards, and suddenly everything was different. Everything was changing in painting thanks to the invention of paint tubes. Artists could actually travel on these high-speed trains, seeing the modern world rushing past, and then being able to paint it actually outdoors was such a revelation. It was so exciting. I mean, I can imagine that no one had ever seen painting like this, and that's exactly what Monet did. He was looking out on a landscape, he was looking at a seascape, and he painted the world as how he saw it. This was about our sensorial feeling of being in nature, rather than actually what it looked like. These 5 works that Sotheby's are selling chart the trajectory of Monet being a painter of representation to a painter of abstraction. We meet him in the early 1880s with this beautiful painting of prunes and apricots. And what I love about this work is how he very much has this acute sensibility of focusing in on the character of his object. These scratchy textures of orange on the apricots and these kind of dancing greens, yellows and reds on the prunes. He's capturing a sort of minute abstraction in a way. And then as we go along and we meet him in the 1880s and the 1890s, he's breaking up the canvas even further. When we look at this landscape of Dieppe, he makes us feel that we are in northern France and capturing the ripples of water and the way that light hits it in such a unique way. We think of snow, we think of white and creams, yet he inserts blues, hints of purples to create the effect that the snow is actually melting. It's like the world is moving in front of our eyes when we look at Monet. He saw a haystack, and he made even the haystack look modern. How he's applying paint is becoming almost sculptural in a way. The pink that he captures, it's almost like a kind of hazy afternoon light. And then we move to the chrysanthemums, and we're just transported to his garden Giverny. And we see these flickers of purples, yellows, greens. It's almost like a kind of abstraction, but it feels like we are in this bed of flowers. And after the chrysanthemums, what he goes on to make are his greatest series, his water lilies, the masterpieces, the jewel of his whole career. These 15 years that these works span, they're so pivotal for Monet. They help him envision a vernacular for modernity. Monet's legacy is that he was the forefather of modernity, of abstract expressionism, all these groundbreaking movements that changed the course of the history of art as we know it. And I think that's what makes him ultimately the most important of the fathers of Impressionism.